The gentleman from Colonial Heights, Mr. Cox.
Speaker, point of personal privilege.
Gentleman has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, last year I spoke on the floor about Governor McAuliffe's vetoes. It was interesting when I went to write my speech this year, and I know the minority leader and I spend a long time on our speeches. I went to myself, I don't really have to spend a long time at all. I can simply copy and paste last year's speech, which I have right here because I'm basically going to say the same thing. Last year I said I was concerned about two things, particularly in the governor's vetoes and amendments. I'm concerned about the types of bills he's vetoing, and I'm concerned, more importantly, with the nature of how he's vetoing the legislation. This year, I find the exact same thing. Once again, the governor has celebrated the use of his veto pen against common sense bills that would have helped our Commonwealth. So let me start with the types of vetoes. I was pretty surprised at some of the bills the governor has vetoed. And the governor loves this mantra that he's saving Virginia, and all these bills are out of the mainstream of Virginia. But if you look at some of these very carefully, they're common sense bills. Let me give you a few. Dickie Bell's virtual school bill, the governor signed it in 2015, introduced his own version of it this year, and still vetoed it. And I talked to you about that last year. We have got to make some progress in K-12, and what a better way than with something that many colleges and universities are doing that's very innovative, great for especially military kids and other kids, is a learning method. So virtual schools is something certainly that's not out of the mainstream. Second Amendment, obviously is something we disagree with the other side of the aisle. There are a lot of common sense Second Amendment bills. Let me give you one from Jeff Campbell you'll hear about today. A bill to allow an active duty military to apply for a concealed carry permit at 18 years old. Apparently, carrying a machine gun in Iraq doesn't qualify you to carry a firearm in Richmond. Scott Linkenfelter's bill to require agencies to create a 10-year review schedule for regulations. I think we all can agree that there are way too many federal regulations, there are way too many state regulations. And at least the governor could work with Delegate Linkenfelter on this bill. He did not. And then welfare reform. And we've said this so many times. Safety net is very important. I think you'll see John O'Bannon make a lot of speeches on that. But we also don't want fraud and abuse. So these two terrible bills, one is Dave LaRock's to cross-check welfare recipients with lottery winners, something I think probably that 99% of Virginians agree with. And Roxanne Robinson's legislation to say, you know, if you've lost or misplaced or whatever 4 EBT cards or your food stamp card, maybe it's time to have an audit. I think that's common sense. And I said this last year. Last year, the governor vetoed bills, 8 of those that had Democratic votes. And you're going to face the same situation this year. There are going to be several of these vetoed bills that you voted for. You're going to have to make a decision. Are you going to vote the way you originally voted, where I would have thought you thought the merits of the bill had a lot of merit, or are you going to just blindly back the governor? Nature of the vetoes. And this is the area I find more disturbing. It's how the governor vetoes things. He truly seems to relish his veto record. Last year I said he's taken a lot of pride. That's a strange word when you associate vetoing legislation. He boasts about setting the all-time record. 40 bills this year, so he has a single-season record. I think he's third and he's fifth, if I'm not mistaken. And 111 bills all-time, most of any governor in history. I'm a sports guy. I was very impressed with the women's basketball team in UConn winning 111 straight. But when it comes to vetoes, I'm not sure anyone wants to be known as being as prolific as the UConn women's basketball team. At least they won the games. At least they did something positive. Again this year, he vetoed a bill live on the radio. He never asked a Republican to join him live on the radio for a bipartisan bill signing. As I said last year, he's more interested in inviting Virginians than celebrating our bipartisan accomplishments. And I've said this many times, and it's the truth. He's the most disengaged governor that I have been a part of since when I got elected in 1989. That's an unfortunate legacy. Quoting from last year's speech again, they tend to be fairly disengaged throughout the session, but after session, too quick to be in front of the camera with a veto pen. That's a pattern. We don't hear from them on our bills. They aren't always in committee. They don't engage with leadership. They don't offer to work with us on our bills. And then we just get a call saying our bills have been vetoed. Is that really how you want to get things done? In the State of the Commonwealth, the governor said, we can continue to show the nation and the world that Virginia is a place where leaders come together to get things done, no matter their political point of view. I'll say today, I think Governor McAuliffe has failed to live up to his own words. Today's lengthy veto session calendar will be proof of that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.